Hello, I'm Manny Gonzales, and I'm speaking of stress, presenting to you my stress management workshop titled 3 Keys to Survive a Mental Meltdown. It will help you reduce, minimize, and control stress better. And one of the focal points of my workshop and presentation is the book I wrote titled Burn Your Bridges, Don't Look Back. And the theme of this book is that too many of us continue to live in the past. We allow excess, unhelpful, damaging, hurtful, excess baggage, issues from the past to continue to dominate our lives. And that's a mistake. We need to stop, take a time out, think about this. What is it about your past that continues to hound you to create problems in your life today and make living tomorrow much more difficult? Could be a bad relationship. Have any of you been in a bad relationship? Maybe divorce, possibly even parental relationships, love withheld from a parent, abuse, could be traumas, could be circumstances, situations where you hurting and lonely and isolated at one point. Did someone harm you? Did someone offend you? Did someone speak badly of you? Did you do something that created a problem for someone else? All these things we continue to propagate and bring into our current life, which causes problems. We're using so much energy, so much of our ideas and thoughts are related to unhelpful, unproductive, harmful past experiences. Now, we can never ever forget the past. You will not blot out the past. However, you can learn to move forward, take one step at a time to progress and advance in your life, allowing yourself to distance and separate yourself from the negative past. And the past isn't always negative. There's wonderful things that have happened in the past in our lives. Things that you may have accomplished, successes in life, relationships, things that were good. However, whatever it was, whether it was good or bad, doesn't really impact what's happening today. Today you must make a decision. I will move forward. My successes or failures in the past are not going to control me. I'm going to control my destiny. I'm going to celebrate the past. The good things from the past I'm going to celebrate. However, I can accept what's happening today and embrace the future. But again, the worst part of this whole scenario is the negative past. And it begins with forgiveness. Forgive yourself, number one, because we're not perfect. There's no one perfect in this world. And what happens in society and the media, we're always shown the ideal, the perfect person, the perfect hair, the great, great smile. The physical appearance that we see in the media, at times, unfortunately, we aspire to be that way. We're all different. There's no two people alike in this world. However, there are similarities with other people, but there are certain things that we have to set in our hearts as our own goals. Your goals can't be my goals can't be your goals. However, I can strive to move ahead, to do things that are going to help me to stop being a slave to the past. Beginning with those feelings. I feel terrible, I feel rotten, I feel miserable. Why? Could be something from the past. So take time out and figure, what is it that I'm doing or thinking about or concentrating focus on from the past that continues to create problems? And the best way I found to do that is through my 3 keys to survive a mental meltdown. As I mentioned in my book, Burn Your Bridges, Don't Look Back. My first key is attend to spiritual issues. And this is research-based. I'm a researcher. I worked in the field for over 35 years. I've studied, I've had experiences, I've analyzed, I've done my own questionnaires regarding mental health, stress management, which is my specialty. Along with that, I burnt out after so many years of dealing with the worst problems you can imagine. I went through a horrible burnout. However, I feel good now. Taken me 5 years to unwind and undo all that harm and mental stress. Now I'm ready to share with you what works. And as I mentioned, my first key, according to what the research out there, is one of the most important things to do is attend to spiritual issues. Begin to think about what is it that makes you feel good inside. Could be a religion, could be a lifestyle, something. I myself consider myself a spiritual person. We all are. And one thing that helps me is I pray, I read my Bible, I attend my church. There's so many wonderful verses in the Bible that anyone, I don't care who you are, anyone can use that's going to help you. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to church or believing in anything. That's up to you. I have my beliefs. I encourage you to find your beliefs. What works for you? What person, maybe a pastor, maybe a church, maybe a synagogue, a mosque, I don't know. But it's up to you to decide what is it that's going to give you a spiritual strength in life that you didn't have before. And research shows that those that attend to spiritual issues are more concerned with the things that are not necessarily involving my materialism or consumerism. Forget about all these things. Think about nice things, good things, wonderful things in life that make you feel good. For example, laughing with someone, sharing with someone, playing with a baby, walking your dog. One thing that really turns me on is the beach. I'm usually in the beach in Puerto Rico. Oh my God, I love the beach. The bright sun, the blue skies, the swaying palm trees from the cool breeze, the water as I splash in there. That's beautiful. That's what makes me feel good and makes me feel high when I'm up in the mountains also at the rainforest. There's things you can do to get outdoors, which is a wonderful way to enhance whatever spiritual ideas or thoughts you have. Get out of your shell. Get out of your situation. Go visit a church. Go to a park. Be outdoors. Start leaving the past behind, the things that have held you back, the things that make you bitter and unhappy. You can do it by, number one, attending to spiritual issues, whatever works for you. The second key that I propose is begin to develop a sense of humor. Laugh. Feel so good. Do you know what happens when you laugh? Your brain releases endorphins. They're feel-good chemicals that course through your blood, your heart, your mind, make you feel good. And when you do that, life is worthwhile. Dance a little bit. Sing in the shower. Play with a child. Do something that's going to make you feel good. Anything that brings laughter and a smile to your face is wonderful. And again, research shows, look it up. Look up humor on Google or the first key, spiritual issues. You will find that as you laugh and enjoy life, that it gives you respiratory exercise. That helps you. Do you know it lowers your stress level? That's what humor does for you. You know what it does? It makes you more sociable. You're around people because people enjoy you if you're laughing a little bit. My third key is to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Begin today by saying, thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you. What about at night saying, thank you. I've got 2 legs. I'm breathing. I can see. I can walk. I have friends. I have a job. Whatever it is you have, you can be thankful for something. And no matter what your situation is, I guarantee you, it could always be worse. You know how many people have told me, oh man, this is horrible. It can't get any worse. I had someone call me like that the other day. 50 years ago, he was in the war in Vietnam. And he's held back. All he talks about is, Manny, the government messed me up. Manny, I can barely walk. Manny, the killing, the torture, the horrible things that occurred are constantly on. He was just talking continuously about the past. I gave him my book, and he tells me that he faithfully reads that book regularly. He says, man, it's helped me. I love what you say. But he says, it doesn't solve my problems because I still have these horrible nightmares. But he says, Manny, I have hope. I feel better as a result of what you said in that book. He says, I need to leave the past behind. I can't do it easily, and some people can't because it takes time and effort, therapy, activities, many, many things that involve leaving the past behind. But being thankful is a third key that's going to help you. Thank you that I have what I have. You're so fortunate. If you think that it couldn't get any worse, follow me to the VA hospital. You'll see horrible medical situations. I had a fellow that was blown up in Vietnam. His face was blown up. He's blind. He can barely hear. He's got plates all over his body. He can barely walk. But you know what? He doesn't complain. It's an amazing, amazing individual who has gone through all kinds of hell. Yet, he marches forward. I ask him, how are you doing? You know what he says? I'm making it. I'm doing. He says, at least I'm getting around. So no matter what situation you're in, there's always somebody that's going to be worse, and what you need is an attitude adjustment. But really what you need to do is cultivate an attitude of gratitude. And these three keys are not going to change your life immediately. They're not going to make life all of a sudden worthwhile and peachy keen and everything's going to go. But they're going to make you think. Think, is what I'm saying going to help you? Is number one, attending to spiritual issues. Is that going to harm you? Is developing a sense of humor going to hurt you? Is cultivating an attitude of gratitude going to hurt you? No, no, absolutely not. It's going to help you. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to give you impetus. I'm trying to enable, encourage, empower you, enlighten you in regards to how you can begin to leave the past behind slowly and focus on enjoying today and planning for the future. And this can be a great time for you to think about these things. Get my book. Again, I'm Manny Gonzales. My website is speakingofstress.com. My email is speakingofstress@gmail.com. And I'm on YouTube, as you can see, and I'm grateful to be here because what I'm sharing with you, I guarantee you, is going to be helpful to you. Your life will be better. You will be enhanced in your activities. And the main thing, again, is let's leave the past behind and focus on today and tomorrow. Thank you so much for attending.